Salary ranges or salary bands are one of the most misunderstood pieces of a job posting, and there are many of them. And I'm going to tell you why. So, for some of you who have just entered the job search force with many other people, whether it's been a while or you're new to, working, we didn't always have salary ranges on jobs, and I think it was terrible that we didn't have this, but it goes back to a time, where companies felt like they could be as opaque as possible and not transparent about how they operate, what people pay. And I love the progress we've made where people are actually demanding more transparency into how companies operate, what they want to pay people. All of this is thank you, diversity, equity, inclusion work, because we kind of push the envelope to make sure companies are telling people what's important, which is how you're going to feed yourself, how much does this job pay, so I can know how it can cover my bills. It's not just about vibes and you should be grateful for having a job anymore. It's about understanding your value to the company as well. Now, the reason why these salary ranges are so misunderstood is because companies are not doing the best job of explaining why there might be like a wide range. Sometimes there's like $100,000 difference, right? It's 125 to 225, and you're like, excuse me? So if you have questions about that, let me tell you. There are people who specialize in compensation. That's all that they do, and it takes, national averages, global averages. It goes down to job leveling, whether a job is a coordinator, manager, or supervisor, director, etc. All of those different things come from the team putting together a job description after they determine actually what they need, right? So when I've seen candidates go, well, if you just make it a director level role, then I'll take it. And that's just not usually how things go, because we are posting exactly what we need. Ideally, some companies don't do that, but ideally you're posting exactly what you need. Maybe a little bit of flexibility in terms of like potential, like could you get promoted within 6 months? Maybe, but you're supposed to be doing proper org design, which is where compensation comes in. Job leveling is, I need a coordinator, supervisor, manager, director, etc. One of the mistakes I see is that a candidate will see this wide range and immediately decide that they are on the highest level of the range. And listen, I want everybody to get their bag, honestly, like get what you need to do, but it's not fair if, say, for example, you're hired as a marketing manager and there's already a marketing manager there who has absolutely, most of those skill sets. They know the platforms, they have the years of experience, they have the industry experience, and you maybe have 2 out of the 4. You can't match their salary because that's not fair to that other person. And you could say just like, well, give them a raise. Well, companies don't have unlimited salary buckets. They just don't. I know there's a lot about like how much money they make, but I will tell you sometimes that just doesn't translate into, how you budget your people, compensation, salary, head count. It doesn't always translate that way. You've got other things in the business that you need to pay for. So you decide how much you want to pay for your head count. So my advice for people who are applying for roles and see these wide ranges, don't sell yourself short, but definitely look at the job requirements. And if you have most of those job requirements, then go for it. Go for, the top of the range. I would say most companies are really looking to stay between the 60 to 70th percentile, within that sort of job range, so salary range. So they're typically not wanting to go to the highest number. Some companies may, but if it's the maximum 180 and you say I'm around 180, 9 times out of 10, that's not where they want it to go. If it's between like 150 to 180, they probably want to stay within the 160 to 170 mark, or 175 mark at the most, but it leaves room for negotiation a little bit as well. And there are other things things you can ask for. There's sign-on bonuses if they're still offering that in some companies. I know sometimes those go the way of the wind. There are, other kind of incentives that you can ask for if there's stock or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you want to get what the amount of money that you deserve based off your experience and not off of your vibes. Because I think, it becomes difficult when you get the job and you don't have the same experience as somebody else who has that same salary and they do. If you're not the kind of person who's going to kick it into high gear and really be qualified for it, you're going to drown, and then you've wasted, your time. You get performance reviews issues. It's a big thing. So when you see these salary ranges, just put a little bit more thought into it. And if you have questions about salary ranges, by all means, put it in the comment section.